Hi kids. How are you doing today? Meet again with Uncle in another video that Uncle made just for you to help you learn, of course. In this video, we are going to learn about math. So, before we start the lesson today, let's prepare your reader book. So, in previous video, you already finished learn about time. So, for today, you are going to learn a new lesson. If before chapter 15 is about time, for now in chapter 16, we are going to learn about picture graphs. Maybe if you still remember, you have learned in primary 1 about picture graph. But for today, we are going to learn again about picture graph, of course, with new lesson. Now let's open page 112 on your reader book. Pay attention on page 112. Lesson 1. Reading picture graphs with scales. In this lesson, you are going to learn to read picture graph from the information and or data using symbols, or we can call picture graph. Now let's pay attention to the first example. Pay attention to what Uncle read. Mrs. Lim buys 4 types of fruits. She uses a picture graph to show the number of each type of fruit she has bought. So it seems Mrs. Lim got different kind of fruits. Now pay attention to the picture graph. The types of fruit that Mrs. Lim have is strawberry, pear, apple, and banana. In each fruits table, there are blue dots, and each blue dots stands for one fruit. Now pay attention to the thinking box. One blue dot stands for one fruit. So we can read this picture graph by counting the blue dots. Now pay attention to what Uncle read again. Mrs. Lim redraws the picture graph. Now she uses one red dot for 2 fruits. So it seems like for the previous picture graph, it's too much for Mrs. Lim. So she make a new one, a simple one, with still the same types of fruits. Now pay attention to the picture graph. Now the dots, it looks fewer than before. Why? Because each red dot stand for 2 fruits. Pay attention to the thinking box. One red dot stands for 2 fruits. So we multiply the number of red dots by 2 to get the number of the fruits. So it says multiply. Yes, to make it easy to count, you need to use multiplication. Now let's move on to the next page. On page 113, we are going to compare the data using the picture graph on page 112. So while we compare the data, always keep an eye for the picture graph. Let's read it together. A. There are 3 red dots for strawberries. Now have a look on the picture graph. As you can see, on the table, strawberry have 3 red dots. So, back again in A. 3 times 2 equal 6. There are 6 strawberries. Now B. There is 1 more red dots for pears than strawberries. Now pay attention to the picture graph. Pay attention for table pear and strawberries. Let's compare them. As we know, strawberry have 3 red dots. And on B, it said there is 1 more red dot for pears than strawberry. So it means 1 times 2 equal 2. There are 2 more pears than strawberries. Always remind each 1 red dot in this graph stand for 2 fruits. Next, C. There are 7 red dots for strawberries and pears. So, pay attention again on table for strawberry and pears. Yes, if you count them together, strawberry and pears, they have 7 red dots. So, 7 times 2 equal 14. There are 14 strawberries and pears all together. Next, D. Mrs. Lim buys 4 pieces of this fruit. What kind of fruit is that? We'll find out. As you can see, we still don't know what kind of fruit is that. But we have the data, the information. This fruit is 4. So, this time we use division to count. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. Why divided by 2? Because we have to look for how many dots for this fruit have. So, there are 2 red dots for this fruit. Now take a look at the picture graph. It seems like only apple does have 2 red dots. So it means Mrs. Lim or she buys 4 apples. Next, E. There are 2 fewer red dots for apples than pears. Now pay attention again to the picture graph. Pay attention for pear and apple table. As you can see, pear have 4 dots. For apple, only 2 red dots. So that's why for apple have 2 fewer red dots. So 2 times 2 equals 4. Mrs. Lim buys 4 fewer apples than pears. Now, do you follow Uncle? If it's yes, then good. Just like the girl said, it is easy to compare data using a picture graph. Of course, yes, because you have to have the data first before you make the picture graph. Without the data, you can't make the picture graph. Alright, let's move on to the next page. On the next page, page 114, there is a different picture graph. The picture graph is about number of bookmarks 5 children have. Now pay attention to the picture graph. As you can see, there are 5 rows for 5 children. Andi, Iman, Manu, Leon, and Shufen. In each their rows have a bookmarks symbols, and below their names there is a key. Remember, this key is important. Why Uncle say this is important? Because it helps you with the symbol of the picture graph for the data. It tells you how you should read the picture graph. The key is in this picture graph, each bookmarks symbol stands for 3 bookmarks. That is the key for this picture graph. Again, Uncle remind you, different picture graph have different key. So always make sure to look for the key in the picture graph before you actually read the picture graph. Okay, moving on. So in this example, another example is how we answer the question for the picture graph, of course. Now pay attention to the first example. A. How many bookmarks does Andy have? Now before we answer it, let's pay attention to Andy's table. For Andy's bookmarks, there are 9 bookmarks symbols for Andy. So each symbols of bookmarks stand for 3 bookmarks. That's the key. So 9 times 3 equal 27. So for Andy has 27 bookmarks. Next, B. How many bookmarks does Iman have? Pay attention to Iman's table. It seems like Iman only have 2 bookmark symbols on his table. So 2 times 3 equals 6. Iman has 6 bookmarks. Next, question C. How many bookmarks does Xiufan have, there are 3 bookmark symbol for Xiufan. So each bookmark symbol stands for 3. It means 3 times 3 equals 9. Xiufan has 9 bookmarks. Next, D. How many more bookmarks does Leon have than Manu? So this question we have to compare between 2 tables or 2 rows, Leon and Manu. Now let's pay attention to the picture graph. For Manu only have 1 and Leon have 2 bookmark symbols. So Leon has 1 more bookmark symbols than Manu. 1 times 3 equals 3. So Leon has 3 more bookmarks than Manu. Last question on E. Xiufan has 6 bookmarks from Mrs. Tan. The rest are from Mr. Liu. How many of Xiufan's bookmarks are from Mr. Liu? So let's pay attention first on Xiufan's table. It seems like Xiufan has 3 bookmark symbols. So 3 bookmark symbols for each symbols stand for 3. So 3 times 3 equals 9. So for Xiufan have 9 bookmark. Back again to the question E. Xiufan has 6 bookmarks from Mr. Tan. The rest are from Mr. Liu. So we have to use subtraction to find out how many bookmarks that Xiufan has from Mr. Liu. So 9 minus 3 equal 3. 3 of Xiufan's bookmarks are from Mr. Liu. So far, do you follow Uncle? If you are not, you might to rewind this video again and watch it, or ask your mom or your dad to help you to understand, of course. Now, Uncle will leave you practice on page 116 until 117, number 1 and number 2. Both number have different picture graph. Your job is to fill in the blanks and use the graph to find out the answers. Again, Uncle remind you, always look for the key for each different picture graph. Then if you finish this practice, don't forget to take a picture and send it through Google Classroom. And that's all for the math lesson today. Uncle will end this video here, and as always, stay safe at home. See you next time.